Hey guys, it's back to school season again. If you are looking for that way to get money or to make money this season, it's definitely by making notebooks. And why? It's because it is very easy to make, quite fast, and doesn't require much stress in collating and selling. And what's more, you can sell this both as a digital copy and as a print on demand on Amazon KDP. Isn't this amazing, guys? Take a look at this seller. Look at how much the person is selling. This person has made 34,600 in sales. Look at the reviews. Isn't this amazing? And take a look at this. This person has only 2 left in stock and 20 plus in basket. This is just one of the examples of amazing amounts you can make selling notebooks currently. So guys, in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can make your simple pattern covers, and also how you can make image covers, and how you can make the interior notebook lines. So guys, without wasting much time, let's get right into the tutorial. So guys, the first thing you need to do is to log on to your Canva. Just go to canva.com and register an account if you don't have one. Once you're on your Canva, you go to this left hand side and click on create. Once you click on create, search for notebook. Depending on where you're uploading, if it's a digital notebook, you can use this one that has a spiral bind design just for it to look more cute. But if you intend actually publishing it for printed purpose, if your publisher does not have a spiral bind service, then just click on this neutral one. Now, when we log in, when you open your page, depending on what kind of notebook you are aiming to create, as you can see, as soon as we logged on, it's already showing us different kind of templates we can use. If you're a beginner, you can go ahead to use one of these, but in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can create yours from scratch using patterns on the back if you want patterns, and then using images if you want images on the notebook cover. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you want a pattern, if you want something unique, you can use Canva's AI. That is, if you want something unique for your own self, not from the elements that are already on Canva, just simply scroll down the tools you have and go to Magic Media. Once you're on Magic Media, we're going to come to images. So this is where you're going to explain what kind of pattern you want from the AI to create for you. So we can do something like create an image of a pattern. The pattern should be made of sunflowers. So something like this, very simple. Then you can click on styles. Depending on what kind of pattern you want it to look like, you can pick from here, and that is what it will do. So I like this retro wave, so let's go with retro wave, and then let's click on generate. This takes a couple of seconds, and then it's going to generate a beautiful pattern for you. So guys, just take a look at this. Isn't this cute? So you just check whichever one you like. I think I'm liking this one, so I'm going to pick this. So if you don't like any, you simply click on regenerate again, or if you like a particular one but you want to see other aspects of it, then you click on these 3 dots and then click on generate more, like this. But for now, I think I like this one, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So once you have this, click on the 3 dots and click on set image as background. Just take a look at this, guys. If you had this as a notebook cover, you would want to use that notebook. So now that we have this, the next thing we need to do is to actually write that this is a notebook. So we're going to go back to our tools. We're going to go down to elements, and then we're going to look for notebook label. Yeah, something like this. So you can decide to use one of these patterns for your notebook label, but if you don't want to use one of these, all you need to do is to come back here, and then we're going to click on shapes. Under our shapes, we're going to use this particular one because I like the curved shaped ones, and then we're just going to size this somewhere here. So depending on where you like, you can put it, but I feel like it does better like down here. Yeah, so somewhere like this. And then once you have this, we're going to change the color. Let's change the color to something like white so it's more visible. So once you have this there already, now we need to add notebook, and then we leave space for the name. So we're going to click on our text, we're going to click on add text, and then we're going to write notebook in capital letter. So let me bring it up here so you can see it visibly. So you can see it's still small, so we're going to increase the font size up here to something bigger, big as you want it, or depending on the kind of notebook design you're looking for or you're aiming at. So I think this is bold enough, so we put it here. We make sure that it's in the middle. Yeah, so something like this, and then you can decide to change the font if you want. There are different kinds of fonts that you can try. You can try to make it spiral using different methods, so depending on how you want it or who you're targeting to sell the notebook to. But this is my usually go-to font, the Garamond font. And then once this is there, we then need lines where the owner can write their names. So it's either you're using this kind of line from the shapes. So let's just bring this down here, and then let's change the color to black. After we change the color to black, we need to resize it, make sure it's in line with where we want it to be, and then I can now increase the length, and then I can duplicate this. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, isn't this beautiful, guys? So this way the owner has somewhere to write their name or whatever they want to write there. So this is a simple way to create a cover with this. So now that this is done, we need to make the actual page with the note lines. All we need to do is to click on add page. When we have our add page, let me increase this a bit so you can see it more clearly. Once you click on your add page, this is where the font begins. So guys, now that you're on the fresh page, like I was saying, all you need to do is, if you're using a laptop, just click on L. So it's going to bring out the lines for you, or you can simply go to your element and go to shape to pick up your preferred line. So we're just going to place this somewhere here. We're going to put it like where you want to have it, and then you elongate it. Make sure it's as straight as possible, and then you elongate it here, and then we can duplicate this. So let's just make sure the spacing is right depending on how wide you want the space to be, and then we just duplicate this till the end of the page. So guys, now that this is all duplicated and this is all set, the page is plain. I always like adding like a design, so you can come back to the image that we created. So there are two ways I do this. When I put this image here, I can decide to put it at the background instead. Let's put this at the back, and then I'll come to transparency, and then I'll decrease it like totally, so you can barely see it. So something like this. It's either you're doing something like this, or I can bring it back to the front, which is usually one of my faves, to be honest. Then let's bring it back forward, and then I reduce the size, and then I put it at a corner. Sometimes I put it at the beginning or at the end, depending on which one suits you. Anywhere you're putting it, you're going to then adjust your line to start from the edge. So you adjust it this way basically, and then it looks much more better. So you can decide to put this at the beginning or at the end, just for the notebook to look cute. And then lastly, you then come here, click on this grid view, and then you can duplicate this into the number of pages that you like. Just click on the notebook page and then keep on duplicating. So you can duplicate into the number of pages that you want your notebook to be, maybe 30, 60, 90, and then there you have it. Very, very simple, easy way of creating notebooks, and this can fetch you thousands, hundreds when you sell them digitally on Etsy or sell them as print on demand on Amazon Kindle. Now, this is the first way of how you can do this notebook. If you want something cuter with images, then this is what you should do. So I'm just going to get an empty page just to show you how to do that. So in order to do this, we need to first generate our image. In order to generate our image, we go to Magic Media, and then let's go back so we can create a new design altogether. So you need to do something like very, very fancy and attractive when you're doing this, depending on which image. You can decide to generate images of kids, decide to generate images of whatever person you're trying to portray. So I'm going to do this to just to show you how you can like play around with this. I'm going to do the one for like an hijabi. So I'm going to have something like, I want to create an image of a hijab female. The female is black, British, wearing a hijab wrapped around her head and neck with a fancy sunglasses on the okay, let's do something like, her skin should be smooth and glowy caramel. Yeah, so something like this. And then when we come to styles, we're going to pick this one, and then let's click on generate. So guys, just take a look at this. I think I like this one, so I'm going to use it. Or we can click on generate again and then see what it gives us. If you don't know what it's giving you, you can use your normal image generating platforms like ChatGPT and other ones. So I'm going to use this as the cover. Yeah guys, just take a look at this. If you saw this as the cover of your notebook, wouldn't you want to use this? So once you have this image, the next thing we need to do is click on it and then click on edit, just so we make it more sharper. Let's click on adjust, and then you scroll down, and then you increase the sharpness and then increase the clarity, so that way the quality is much more better. So now that you have this, the next thing we need to do is to go up and then click on text, click on add text, then do something like my notebook, but then I want it a bit fancy. So I'm going to come to the text, and then I'll click on handwriting, and then I'll look for like a handwritten font that I like. I usually like Britney because it always looks good. It's still my fave. Next we go to effects, and then we just look for something nice. I just want it to pop out a bit, and then I'm going to choose something like maybe pink, something bright, or something that will make it like obvious in the background. Maybe something like this, or should we do this? Yeah, maybe something like this. And then guys, just take a look at this. We can adjust the spacing, that's the letter spacing, so it's more bolder. And then there you have it. Very, very nice, very, very easy. And then if you want to do an interior page for something like this, you simply add a new page, and then just like you did for the previous ones, just click on L, and then you do the lines. So guys, now that we have all our lines, we just need something simple to pop it out. So we're going to come to elements, and then I'm going to look for like florals, just simple florals to pop up the page better. So let's look at our graphics, and then we just look for something nice and simple. So something like this would be good. So I can just put this here, and then let's just flip it so it looks better. Yeah, so something like this would be nice. Yeah, just take a look at this, guys, and then we can just reduce, yeah, the transparency just so it blends in. So guys, isn't this cute? And then you can duplicate as many pages as you want. So that is it, nice and easy. So guys, there you have it. Very easy, straightforward, no stress, no headaches. Very easy way for you to make money during this back to school season. I hope you found this helpful. If you found this helpful, please click on that subscribe, click on that like, click on that notification so you don't miss educational videos such as this. And if you're looking for an easier way to get started with digital product, then you need to grab my all-in-one bundle. The link is in the description. It has different kind of templates that you can just customize and sell or use for yourself. It has coloring book templates, ebook templates, children activity book templates. A lot of things are in there. Your content creation guide, different kind of real template that you can use to market your books, everything you need to get yourself started in the digital product business. So guys, I'll see you on my next video. Bye.